Candidate, we are trying to get a player for his position because it's going to be a long period. Timothy Castagne, you have all the trust on him. He's a proper Premier League player that gives us last season, great season, gives us all the conditions, and to believe that we have the right player in that position. But sometimes we have to look for your squad if you have some versatile players that can play in that position or not. Other positions, yes, we have. And that position not. We are looking for that position too. It's not an easy market, as you know. January market is really difficult. And of course, after the last Sunday game with the injury of Harry Wilson, yes, we are looking for a player for that position. The time doesn't play in our favor, of course, because it's a really short period for until the end of the winter market. But let's see what we can do.
And in terms of looking back on Sunday, what do you put your lack of clinicality, if you like, down to in the final third?
Definitely. I mentioned after the game when I spoke with some of you in after-match press conference. Definitely, we played better the first half than the second. That is clear. I think first half we were clear the dominant team, and we have so many times in danger areas with the ball, and that we should have created much more and score a goal or enough goals for us to be leading the score at half time. Definitely, when you arrive so many times, when you don't give nothing for your opposition side, and you didn't, definitely nothing for them during the first half. And as you said, clinical, to be assertive in last decision, our last definition, our last pass, last cross, last finishing. The finishing wasn't at the level that should, and of course because that I think we didn't win that game. Because we can talk about, we just consider the first shot from the opposition side was on the 78th minute of the game, first shot on the target. That speaks about how we did control really well the game of the ball. Our first pressure in the first half was really good. But football is much more than that. Of course, that is the first step for you to win the game. We can win the game in many ways. Good example how we lost the game, how they won. But the way you did it, I think we deserve much more from the game. But as you said, football match, we have to be strong in both ends. We have to be clinical enough and ruthless enough to punish when you are on the top of the game. We had big spells on the top of the game, but we didn't punish, and we lost the game, unfortunately.
And in the case of Muniz and Jimenez, to what extent does confidence play a role?
That one out on the right.
Rare bit of sunshine.
Sorry. It's a good one, but sorry, can you repeat?
With Muniz and Jimenez, to what extent does confidence play a role as well in front of goal?
Yes, I think he's not okay. I know that Rodrigo had two good moments that in that last 20-30 minutes he played two good moments inside the box. Normally is the area that he normally is clinical, is ruthless. He has the capacity to do better, and he knows that. Raul had some moments first half as well, not that clear chances like Rodrigo won, but one or two moments. But sometimes strikers they can be really ruthless and clinical if we provide for them the right moments and the right balls, and that is the thing. I think first half, the way you played, you should have provided more for our attacking players, and other situation is when the strikers they don't score. Other players they have to step in. You don't have just a striker to score. You have other players around the box. You have the wingers, and that's it. I think I don't want to put all the weight on them. That why we didn't score in the chances that we created, because until now, something that you cannot complain really is about the goals that we have been scoring. Because I think we have been a team that normally we created chances, and normally we were able to score the goals, but football is you have to do it in a consistent way, and we didn't last game.
Do you feel a need to bring in a forward then, or do you think you've got enough?
No, the situation now, as I told you, is so short. The time now to do something that we have two positions that we are looking forward to do it. Winter market is not an easy one for you to go to improve the positions and to strengthen the squad in certain positions. And we have to do it in the right way. When I mention the right way, I'm saying that you have to have the okay, the right target, and the target has to be able to come, and after the right power in terms of budget to go there. Because if you go right now for a striker to be able to help Raúl and Rodrigo and Vinicius, for us to be stronger, has to be someone with a high quality, and for you to buy in the winter market high quality for a striker position, like I know as well, that is not so easy. Many clubs, they are looking for it, and you see how the problems that they have. Focus is always in strength the squad, and right now the two positions that I mentioned to you, they are the targets for us.
And finally from me, just away from here, Cristiano Ronaldo turns 40, I think, next week. I wondered if I could just get your views on the legacy that he's going to leave in terms of Portuguese football.
I think when you ask me, your smile, I think, speaks and says everything. He's a legend, definitely is a great example for all the young lads that they want they dream with to be a football players and to be one of the best in the world in the future. I think is a good model, if I can say in this way. Is a guy that you can follow, definitely. The way he started so young, but even before he started, the way he was able to grow, and probably not just with the talent that he got at a young age, but the way he worked hard to arrive in at the level that he arrived so young in Portugal, and after the first step to come to the Premier League. When I'm not saying that easier now to come, but in that moment was really difficult to go in that Man United team for sure, and the way he did it, the way he got his space, and after that we all know what was his career, and to be able to play until now and always scoring goals, and to be scoring goals with the clubs, with the national team, to be a top player during probably 10-15 years, was always there in the top 3 football players in the world. And I think he's a great example, and it's very, very good for Portugal to have an example like Cristiano.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. You felt you were the better side in last weekend's defeat to Manchester United, particularly given the dominance you displayed in that game. I just wonder, moving forward, how do you ensure that those positive performances are translated into positive results for the rest of the season?
Yes, that's the goal. Definitely, I think so far we have been able to react for some downs. We have been able to find the answers for the problems that you have during the matches, because we don't play alone. We play against a good sides. You play against top players, and football is like that. We know that we are going to face. It was a good example the last few games. It's going to be an example next Saturday as well. And positives is always important when you take positives. It's always important when, even if you don't win a game, you look for all the picture and you see the positives there. And I think the best way for you to improve is when you analyze, you see, the point for us to improve is this one, that one, and that one. And to be honest, there are 2-3 points that we should improve quick, related with the last game, for example. We did work on it during the week, and let's hope we can give a good answer next Saturday.
Sure, so a trip to Newcastle up next for you then. You've proved difficult to beat away from home in recent weeks. It's just one defeat from your last 5 away league games. What is it about your team that's making you so hard to beat on the road?
No, we are really a difficult team to beat. I know that last few games you lost 2 games, and clear if you see the way you lost with the West Ham and Man United. Football point of view, performance of you, I think was a game for us to take points. Definitely not 1 point in each, but games. But football is about goals and results. Why we have been so difficult to beat? Because we have quality. We as a team, we showed our organization, and we really embrace the challenge. We like to go for it with to put pressure on ourselves. You can reach the standards that the football match against any side in Premier League demands from ourselves. Play at St James's Park is a good example about demands that the game is going to demand. Is going to push from ourselves to be able to win that football match against very good side.
Yeah, you say you like to go for it. You've scored 2 goals in each of your last 4 Premier League away games. Can we expect a bit of a goal fest this weekend, particularly against 2 teams who aren't shy in front of goal?
Let's hope we don't concede. That is the first thing, really. Let's work for it, because you are going to be always close to win the game. But yes, they are two teams that they normally they face each other playing to win the game. We have an identity, one philosophy that we normally don't change away or home. We know that Newcastle normally, when they play, even away or home, but when they play home with that great support, they are really a difficult team. They are a physical side. They are a team that press really high every single time. The game is always really tight, and of course we have to be able to play in our way, to be brave, to play with the enough courage to be able to create problems for them as well. And as you said, probably it's going to be a open game, and both teams trying to win the game definitely, because it's the way ourselves and Newcastle normally play.
Yeah, Newcastle have shown that they can be beaten at home. A 4-1 defeat to Bournemouth came just a fortnight ago. What areas can you look to exploit this weekend?
We know their strengths definitely, and of course we know something that we can explore as well. Quality, a top striker, really hot, on fire. Really, the striker, the top quality have up front with Gordon as well. And Murphy is always a hard worker for them that can create. Middle of the park I think is going to be a very good fight. Because the way you normally play, the quality they have in that area of the pitch is going to be a good fight. And the strengths that they have, and we know something that we can explore, and we work on it, and let's hope can work out next Saturday.
And finally from me, you've spoken about how ambitious your group is here at Fulham. You're of course enjoying a really impressive season, sitting 10th in the table, still plenty of games to play. How do you assess your European chances right now?
We have a clear goal, that is to fight for the top half of the table. It's a hard fight, because you see so many clubs around, so many clubs fighting for the same things as well, and it's so competitive this Premier League, probably this season even more than the seasons before, and we have to go game by game. That is the thing as well, and for us to be able to fight for something important, we have to answer well when you have some downs, to be more consistent in terms of results as well. I know that we had a great spell without defeats. 9 in the Premier League is really good. During that period, we should have taken more points, because some draws. We should have taken more from that games. But again, what we have to do is to be, as we spoke before, to be more consistent in some moments, to be more ruthless, more clinical at the end. That's what makes a difference in football, to be stronger in both ends when you are a team that normally you have the capacity to command and to be dominant.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
I was going to ask you how you stop Alexander Isak at the moment, but I guess you did that in September at Craven Cottage.
Yes, we did, and some other clubs, they did the same as well. But as I mentioned before, he's really on fire, if I can say, in this moment. He's in top of his confidence. He's a very good player. He's a player that attacking the space, and he has the right timing to move always. That playing on the shoulder of the back line, he is really strong as well. And of course, after in front of the goal, he has the ability to do it in a very good way. And of course, always with many players around him, if I can say, that can provide for them for him the right balls as well. I think he's a mix of everything. Is this individual quality, of course, for him to be able to score the goals that he's been scoring with the Newcastle shirt. You have to have the individual quality, but as well a team that can provide to you the way they've been providing for him, and how we can stop him as a collective always. Of course, with a good afternoon from our back line for sure, but our defensive organisation is going to start on the top of the pitch as always, and we as a collective, we have to stop them, not just one player.
Newcastle have been in brilliant form, except for that most recent loss at home against Bournemouth. So do you go there expecting quite an intimidating atmosphere at St James's Park anyway? How do you prepare your players for, I guess, fans hoping for a response to that Bournemouth result from them recently?
No, as you said, that the atmosphere there is, I can say that is there on the top really. When you talk about Premier League, is really there on the top. You mentioned intimidate. I don't like to look. I understand why you say that. but for me it's much more. You have to embrace that type of challenge. If you don't like to play that type of games, what games you are going to enjoy really, because it's a really enjoyable atmosphere to play football. Of course, the home support is going to be there on the top, and you have to embrace the challenge to seize up as a privilege that pressure that is going to be there always around, and to be able to answer as a team and the individual point of view to step in that type of moments, because they are in my opinion, those are the games that you should do it.
I think Emile Smith Rowe has just reached his 100th game in the Premier League.
Yes.
Is that right? I mean, most expensive player that Fulham have ever bought. Does he feel like he's a Fulham player now? Are you happy with what you're seeing from him?
No, definitely, that is a Fulham player. That is, and he feels like that. Definitely, as I told you, it's already passed. Already is our player the last 7 months already, 6-7 months, and he's already completely adapted in our football club. He had a down in last December with a small issue in his hamstring, but now he's back again. He full of confidence in the training session, and of course he's going to have you are going to see that on a match day, like we saw against Leicester again in his best level. Last game he had some moments, not the best, but he had some moments as well. He tried to help the team as always, and of course he's completely adapted. He's a good number for a young player, but already enough years as a Premier League player, and to reach that under game in Premier League. Even the last few games, Glenn last game was the 100th game with the Fulham shirt as well, and Andres 2 or 3 weeks ago was the same, and they are good numbers for this type of players. That is important always to have players with this capacity and this type of experience in Premier League.
Thank you, Michael.